One of the biggest ideas we're all taught is that inside each of us, there's this constant battle between good and bad, that we've got to crush our worst impulses and always strive for what's good. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if the fight itself is the real problem?
Really think about it for a second. That constant internal tug of war, that feeling of wrestling with parts of yourself you just can't stand. What if that struggle is actually the source of all the trouble and not the way out? Okay, let's really get into this.
And this is the question that changes everything. It's this wild idea that the parts of ourselves we try so hard to push away, the anger, the jealousy, the laziness, aren't just flaws to be stamped out. What if they're actually a hidden treasure trove of energy, truth, and maybe even goodness?
Right. So, the unwinnable war. Why can't you win it? Well, because this whole business of sorting our feelings into good and bad piles, it doesn't bring peace. It just guarantees a forever war inside your own head. And that war? It causes chaos in our lives and, as we're about to see, on a much bigger scale too.
And to really get why this fight is so self-defeating, we need a map. We need a way to navigate our own minds. And for that, we're going to turn to the incredible work of psychiatrist Carl Jung. He gives us the perfect framework for this.
So, according to Jung, our psyche has three main parts that are always interacting with each other: the persona, the ego, and the shadow. And trust me, understanding these three is the absolute first step to calling a ceasefire in that internal battle.
First up, the persona. Think of this as your public mask. It's the you show to the world. So let's say your friends want to see a movie you have absolutely zero interest in. Your persona is the part that smiles and goes, "Yeah, sure, sounds awesome." It's the polite, agreeable you that fits into society.
Next is the ego. This is your conscious identity, who you think you are. It knows what you're really thinking and feeling. So while your persona is all excited about the movie, your ego is that little voice inside your head that's saying, I am so not interested in that movie.
And then we have the shadow. Now this is where it gets really juicy. The shadow is basically a bag where you've stuffed everything you don't like about yourself. So in our movie example, the shadow might be that nasty, judgmental little thought that whispers, "Wow, people who want to see that movie are just stupid." It's the part of you that you'd rather pretend doesn't even exist.
So let's break it down. We've got the public mask, the persona. We've got our conscious self, the ego. And we've got our unconscious self, the shadow. The real trouble begins when we act like the shadow isn't there, when we try to live our entire lives just through our ego and our persona.
Because here's the thing, you can't just wish the shadow away. Nope, trying to ignore it or worse, destroy it, well, that has some pretty serious and destructive consequences, not just for us, but for everyone around us.
And this is the biggest danger of all. When we refuse to own our dark side, we don't make it disappear. Instead, we unconsciously throw it onto other people. It's called shadow projection, and it's like we're forcing them to carry the heavy baggage we refuse to carry ourselves.
And you've seen this happen, I guarantee it. It's that sudden explosion of rage that just comes out of nowhere. It's that nasty comment you blurt out and immediately wish you could take back. It can even be things like pushing your own failed dreams onto your kids or getting irrationally angry at someone for a flaw you secretly have yourself. Now this quote, this one can be a tough pill to swallow. It's saying that the person at work you find so incredibly annoying or that public figure you just can't stand, we often have such a visceral gut reaction to them because deep down, we're seeing a reflection of a part of our own shadow that we've pushed away. Ouch.
And this isn't just a personal problem. When whole groups of people, entire societies, repress their collective shadow, the results are absolutely catastrophic. History is just littered with examples of one group projecting its darkness onto another to justify hatred and unbelievable violence. It's the exact same mechanism, just blown up to a terrifying scale.
Okay, so if fighting our shadow is a terrible idea, what's the alternative? Well, this is where we have to do a complete 180. We have to shift our entire mindset from conflict to, you guessed it, integration.
I love this quote. It just nails the new mission, doesn't it? Your shadow is like a dragon, but it's one you can't kill. So instead of grabbing a sword, the modern journey is about befriending it. It's about learning to understand it, to care for it, and to even nurture it.
Now, to do that, we got to reframe how we think. When we feel both generous and selfish at the same time, we usually see that as a contradiction, a problem, a dead end. But what if it's actually a paradox, a seeming contradiction that, if you look closer, actually holds a deeper truth? It's a place where real growth can happen.
And this is the gold we were talking about, hidden inside the shadow. You see, true goodness isn't about being pure and having no dark thoughts. No way. True goodness is about acknowledging your capacity for cruelty, for selfishness, for all of it, and still choosing kindness. Without the potential for bad, the choice to be good doesn't even mean anything.
Now, this process of making friends with your shadow, it's not a quick fix. It's not a weekend retreat. It's a part of a much bigger, lifelong journey towards becoming a whole, complete person.
Jung had a name for this journey: individuation. It's not about becoming some perfect, flawless saint who only thinks positive thoughts. Not at all. It's the ongoing, messy, beautiful process of weaving all the different parts of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the persona, the shadow, the whole shebang, into a balanced and honest human being.
So why is this so important? Well, imagine this. When we're young, we basically pack our bags for the great hike of life. We form all our values and ideas about who we should be long before we've actually lived. Then, years later, we find ourselves on a trail we are completely unprepared for. That's what leads to that feeling of being lost, that classic midlife crisis.
So think of your soul like a seesaw. The goal isn't to have the good side slam the bad side into the ground and win. No, the real goal is to get every single quality you have onto that seesaw and arrange them just right so that you find this beautiful, dynamic balance.
And you know, when you really get down to it, the whole idea of good and bad traits is kind of an illusion. Is a hammer good or bad? The question doesn't even make sense, right? It's a tool. It can build a home or it can break a window. It's the same with our inner qualities, like anger or ambition. They're just raw energy. The only real question is, how do we choose to use them?
And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. What if this whole thing isn't about winning a war? What if it's about finding peace? A real, lasting peace that doesn't come from destroying half of who you are, but from finally having the courage to embrace all of it.